This is my living room fireplace. It's a traditional brick fireplace, but for some reason they threw different colored bricks randomly in the pattern. It has a decent wooden mantle, but upon closer inspection, the attention to detail is a little bit lacking. And finally, a slab of concrete, because everyone wants a slab of concrete in their living room. If not for the looks, for the possibility that your children could kill themselves on it. Oh, and a 25-foot blank wall. I'm going to start off by caulking the gaps in the mantle. I wanted to save money and I already had this caulk cut open. The issue is I was using this for the Grand Canyon of gaps, so I cut really far down on the tip of the caulk. What this does is it gives you a big wide spread but zero precision. So what you're seeing here is a disaster. Instead of trying to save $5, I should have just opened my other tube of caulk. So now after I spread this on like my kids make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I'm gonna have to wipe 90% of this off. Enjoy. Next up, I'm removing the insert. I actually didn't know that this was possible, but I stuck my head in the fireplace and I realized that it's just 4 screws and this thing pops out. Quick shop vac action, and I'll be using this wire brush to brush the brick. Because contrary to popular belief, bricks are actually imperfect. They're bumpy and uneven and slightly ugly. A little bit more shop vac, and then I'm gonna wipe it down with a shop rag, which is actually one of my wife's nice washcloths. But she doesn't know that yet. I'm putting some painter's tape down so I don't ruin this lovely concrete. Okay, now that my brick is prepped and ready, we're going to be using a primer and a sealer. And I went and I picked up Sherwin-Williams's Locks-On. Locks off? Locks-On. And this is supposed to be pretty good stuff. So because brick is porous, I guess it's a good idea to seal it. And this should do the trick. It's also going to give us the benefit of not having to put many coats on of the final white paint that I chose. So hopefully we only need one after we use the primer, but we'll see. Locks-On. The Locks-On concrete and masonry primer / sealer has a very high viscosity, meaning that it's much thicker than your organic celery juice that you drink every morning. Weirdos. But yeah, it's really thick and you kind of have to dab it and push hard into the mortar. While I'm using a brush, it may actually be more beneficial or easier to use a roller if you have one. So you could hit the mortar with your brush and then come in with a roller and probably cut this time in half. I did end up putting 2 coats of the primer sealer on, followed by 2 coats of the final white paint. Unsurprisingly, this really reinforced my deep-seated dislike for painting. I'm being nice. I hate painting, okay? I hate it. Next up, I used a general primer for the wood portion of the mantle, and I'm going to follow 1 coat of primer with 2 coats of the final white paint. I'm using a flathead artist's brush to get in between these little square things. It's great. I love this. So the paint of all paints for painting a mantle or trim indoors white is Sherwin-Williams' Pro Classic Smooth Enamel Finish for trim indoors, interior acrylic latex. The acrylic part is important because it's better. I have this a little bit tinted to 7005 pure white. It's a great pure white. The greatest pure white. After the first coat, it's pretty clear that I'm going to need a second coat and maybe even a third, so I'm in this for the long haul. And let's not forget the bricks underneath the concrete. To spice things up a little bit, I added aerial beach prints, custom mats, and gallery style frames. and Power Ranger Megaforce Ultra Dragon Sword. The centerpiece of the mantle is one shot split into 3 prints called a triptych. Adding the thin gallery frames, 1 3/4 inch matting, and just the right spacing in between really elevated the already spectacular composition by the photographer. Alright, I wrote all that on my Instagram like a couple weeks ago. I thought it'd be easy, just use it for the voiceover. Sounds a little robotic, but it was easy. Felt, informative. So, you know what? I'm going to be a little bit more informative. I actually saw these aerial beach prints by a photographer named Gray Malin, and let's put him at the top tier. Super expensive prints, out of my price range. So then I stumbled upon a New Jersey beach photographer who does helicopter prints just like Gray, and they were affordable, but she was in the midst of relocating her shop. Her name is Chloe, I think, and I'll put a link there. They are much more affordable than Gray's. The collection is less curated, but there's some really nice shots. But what I ended up doing is a more budget route, and I went on Etsy and I searched for aerial beach prints, and I found these. Now this is a really nice triptych. The issue is it was shot from a drone, so the resolution is not what I thought. I didn't know it was a drone photograph when I bought it. It doesn't say that. But when you get within, say, 6 feet, it gets a little bit blurry, which is disappointing. Claudia and Gray's photographs are very, very high resolution and will be an outstanding centerpiece in any room that you put it in. So, super informative. The basic process for hanging these is try and locate a stud. If you can't find a stud, you're going to have to use a wall anchor. So all of these are using wall anchors. What I'm doing is I'm centering the middle print and then I'm working off of that. I think I'm going like 2 or 3 inches in between, and you can play with the distance visually to see how it looks. I'm working a couple inches off the top of the mantle, and then I'm putting a piece of masking tape and then working my way up to where the hardware is on the back of the frame. It's important to use a level because your eyes may think something is level, but then when you walk away 10 feet, it's super crooked. You don't use a level, your first picture's crooked, and so are the other 2 pictures. Now it's all crooked. Next thing you know, your wife has a Tinder account. You found her in a parking lot trying to meet up with a man you don't know, and you're due on Maury Povich next week even though he's not on TV anymore. Always use a level. Sherwin-Williams is locks on. Locks off? Locks on. I'm also going to put some plywood up here and paint it white. So trim. I'm going to put some trim here because I don't want to paint near the carpet. And hopefully it doesn't look terrible. But I don't know because I never did this before. No, I'm going the wrong way.